A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a tense political climate, Australia is preparing for a series of protests organized under the banner of March for Australia, which are set to occur in major cities this Sunday. These marches have been linked to neo-Nazi and far-right groups advocating for an end to mass immigration, prompting serious concerns about public safety and social cohesion. Opposition leader Sussan Ley has stepped into the fray, urging protesters to reject violence and racism, emphasizing that such ideologies have no place in the Australian landscape. Ley's message, delivered via social media, resonated with many as she stated, "There is no place for violence, racism, or intimidation. Whether incited from afar or stirred up here, we cannot let hatred and fear tear at our social cohesion." Her comments come at a time when the nation is grappling with questions of identity, belonging, and the values that underpin Australian society. The protests are being organized in a leaderless format, which has raised alarms among law enforcement and community leaders alike. They fear that the lack of a central authority could lead to chaos and violence, especially given the event's connections to extremist groups. Ley has called for calm, reiterating that while Australia values the right to protest, it must be exercised peacefully and respectfully. She stated, "Strong borders keep us safe, but they also allow us to be generous and compassionate to those fleeing conflict." That is the Australian story. Respect, tolerance, community. It belongs to all of us. However, the organizers of the protest have expressed discontent with the current political landscape, particularly criticizing the Liberal Party for straying from its traditional values. A Facebook post associated with the protest accused the party of abandoning its core principles, stating, "The Liberals you once admired are gone, and they have been for a long time." This sentiment reflects a broader discontent within certain factions of the party, especially following a historic loss in the last federal election. Ley's comments also come on the heels of a controversial pro-Palestinian demonstration earlier this month, which saw hundreds of thousands of people marching through major cities, including Sydney. Ley had previously criticized these protests for disrupting public order, arguing, "It's not reasonable that we throw Sydney into chaos for hours and hours." As the March for Australia protests draw near, law enforcement agencies are preparing for potential clashes. Victoria Police have announced a significant operational response, indicating that the Central Business District will be declared a designated area for the protests. This allows police to conduct searches for weapons and mandate the removal of face coverings. Police intelligence reports indicate that far-right groups are likely to attend the protests, raising the stakes for public safety. NSW police have also issued a warning, stating that there will be zero tolerance for any violent or criminal behavior during the protests. Assistant Deputy Commissioner Peter McKenna emphasized that anyone attempting to hijack the peaceful assemblies for malicious intent would face arrest and charges. Amid these rising tensions, the federal government has condemned the planned marches, with Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke declaring them as "nothing could be less Australian." Minister for Multicultural Affairs and Ali added that migrant communities would not be intimidated by such far-right activism, which she described as having no place in modern Australia. As the nation stands on the brink of these protests, the question remains, how will Australia reconcile its values of freedom of expression with the imperative to maintain social harmony? With fewer than 700 people currently registered to attend the Sydney event, it remains to be seen how many will ultimately show up and what the implications will be for Australia's diverse society. The eyes of the nation will be watching closely as this story unfolds, with many hoping for a peaceful resolution to the tensions that have gripped the country in recent weeks. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.